Hi guys, this is Rhonda and you are with the Junk Journal Diva. Today we are going to look at journal hardware. Hope you'll join me. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. Thank you to my subscribers. I really thank my new subscribers for jumping on board. I hope you'll stick around. We're going to do kind of a what to have on hand, alternatives to things. I filled my inkjet today, can you tell? Just some tips, tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call it. So there are several ways to, first of all, bind a journal now. One of the ways are using these little like keyring things. And I have not done one like solely yet, but you can use these. You can also use these to make really large tassels. There are a lot of things you can do with these. These can be bought in various sizes from little to huge. So something you might want to have I have tons of them because I saw a video where somebody got a really good deal on them or whatever. So I bought a bunch of them. I have not used them all. So you just need maybe 3 to 6 of each size, nothing more. And then you can use different kinds of glue. There's the beacon glue. I get this from the Dollar Tree, very inexpensive. Then you have art glitter glue, and then you have Eileen's tacky glue, and you have, like I said, Eileen's tacky glue, Eileen's clear gel glue. I put it in here just to kind of help me. These are the cake icing bottles. They come highly recommended, but I will tell you they leak. If you turn this upside down, this is going to leak. So what I did, and I don't have it on hand, I took some sculpting clay and I put a little cap on there, and then I squished this down on it, and then I let the little sculpting clay thingy dry up here so that it kind of poked down into the lid, and that helped, but I didn't do it for this one. All right, so that's covering the different kinds of glue. Some people really like double-sided tape. You can use double-sided tape in a lot of places, although I've heard pros and cons on it. I myself like it, and again, it depends on what it is I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to be using it, and it also, you can buy it in a variety of sizes. You can go from very wide all the way down to the really thin. So again, that's going to be your choice. If you're going to use it, I would suggest trying a little bit out, a small bit out, and then deciding from there, if you like it or don't like it. And then, so that covers some of the adhesives. Next up, hardware. Okay, some people swear by bulb pins. I think bulb pins are okay, but I don't like the way they hang on your project. So if you're doing something in your journal, they kind of like, I don't know, they kind of stick out. Let me see if I can get it on a piece of paper to show you. I love ball pins, but I don't, like I said, I don't like how they lay when you attach them. Say we're going to do it as a side, like a dangle from the side of your journal page. This is what you get. You either get that or you get that. It just doesn't really rest. I mean, that's okay, but if it's on top, say you're going to put it on here, and this is your tag, and you're going to put a charm on it. See, it doesn't really lay down well. See, I mean, it's just, they're, to me, a little fiddly. So there are ways of getting around that. You could use a swivel and a jump ring. You could put the jump ring through your hole and then put your swivel on the jump ring, followed by your bulb pin. and you get that twirly, you know, it spins. So that's kind of an idea you could do there. You could also use safety pins. You don't necessarily have to have the bulb pins. And the safety pins has that little, let's see if I can get one off of here. The safety pins have that little circle thing there, where you could also do a jump ring and a charm, and it would hang from that little circle. So bobby pins are always a plus, especially if they're rusted. Always a good thing. I'm just going to put it back on like that. So bobby pins can be used pretty nicely. And then we have hitching posts. I call them hitching posts, where you, back in the old days when you saw, like, look at a Western, they've got the hitching post. They got the, it's a pole. It's not a paper clip like, or paper clasp like these are. It was just a pole that had one of these on it, and you would see the post. You know, like I said, this would be attached to a pole, not the clasp part, not the clip, not this piece, but this actual piece would be connected to a pole, and people would tie their horses on it. So this you could put in a spine, right, inside the spine, like so, and then you could connect your bulb pin or your dangle or your cluster to this, and this hangs really well. So you could put your charm on there, see, and then that would hang really nicely from your piece. You could put your safety pins on there. You can do a lot of different things with these. Okay, then let's move to picture hardware. Who'd have thought it? You guessed it. You can use framing hardware a lot of different ways in your journal. You can use, oh, I had my charms up here. I should have actually, let's get that piece back out. You can use hardware in a lot of different ways. Let's get one of my little acorns out here. These are adorable. I have them like this. I have them, I think, in white. Where'd the one with the bulb pin go? There it is. Of course, it sank to the bottom. Oh, you know, if my fingers are this fiddly at 60, what are they going to be like when I'm 80? And my mind still wants to make junk journals, but my hands tell me no. Okay, so here we go. You're going to put your little acorn on here, or whatever charm you want to use, and you'll see what I meant about. See, it looks really cute, and that would work. Okay, we're just going to drop it in there. I'm not feeling acorny right now. I'm feeling like, let's get on to the hardware part of this. And here, this is hardware. We got handmade, these could be used as paper clips. You could put dangles on them. Not dangles, but charms. And that's all of these. See, these are all like clips, paper clips. This came from Stampin' Up. And then you've got your book plates, different kinds of book plates. See, different kinds of book plates. And then these are little belt buckles. So you're making your journal. Do I have any larger than that? Let's see. Yes. So you're making your journal, and you want to use it for a closure. You could certainly do that. You would just send one piece of lace through here. One piece of lace through here. Again with the fingers. I'm gonna have to start doing more exercises with my hands. I'm losing mobility and that's not cool. Okay, so see, you could tie that to the front and then you could put your little dangles here. Or you could actually loop it from here, and tie it off. That's another way. Okay, so then things like this, see, you have now this place in order to put your little bulb pin. Put one on there, and then this would fit on the spine of your book or your journal, like so. You could even sew that through your signature. You see my hole there for the signature? You could sew that into your signature and then have that already attached. So cool. In fact, I think I'm going to use that for some upcoming journals. Okay, so those of you who make albums and you want to do a closure or tags, so anything you need a closure on in your books, your journals, your albums, you would make your bad go through there, and then this is going to be, let me see if I can get you an actual vision of what this would do. Let me go this way. I'm right-handed. Yeah, I had it right the first time. All right, let me get my big bite. Get my big bite. Where's my big bite? Where's my big bite? Oh man, let me just poke a hole through it because we're just practicing anyhow. I'll just poke a hole in here. All right, it doesn't have to be very big. Okay, so let's say you want this to stay closed. See how it flaps up? So this is some sort of ephemera you've made for your journal that you want to stay flat. You're going to put this guy in there, and he'd be covered up on the other side. Now look. See? He is now going to stay closed, and then you can open it up, and close it. This can be used in junk journals. This can be used in albums. This can be used in planners. Anything you want to use it in, and then you just fasten that down and put tape over it. So see? Another idea. And then we have, again, these. You could put these on with one of those brads, just with the brad. Into your spine. And then this you could attach whatever you wanted to. Dangles, charms, whatever. So again, picture hanging accessories are always good. This came from Stampin' Up, so I think it was more for cards and journals than anything. So there you go. That was fun. All right. We covered that, and then paper clips. There's a cajillion ways to alter paper clips. This was sent to me as a gift. They basically just wrapped the stuff around it and made this into a dangle. This is not really a working altered paper clip. That's a dangle. That could go on any one of those things I showed you. Now, you could also just get some of this up. Just going to show you an example on your paper clips. Let's go here, cut this. Okay, we're going to push this through here. Now, if you don't want this to move, there's ways of working with that too. And I'll show you what I mean by move. Okay, so that's basic. That's just super basic right there. Okay, but see, it could move. Whoops, the wrong way, guys. I did it upside down. Got to come up here. That's what I meant by it can move. So if you want it to stay put where it's at, then you would just glue, put a little glue here and hold it, and then a little glue here and hold it. So then it dries, and boom, you now have an altered paper clip that way. Okay, then you can do paper, altered paper clips, and they are super basic. We'll use this as an example, and a small one. Okay, so normally you wouldn't use anything this big with something this small, but you fold this over so that it's going to cover that little one. Okay, and then you're going to do this. Okay, so now you know you got your bottom covered. All right, you're going to fold this piece. You saw how I did that. This piece is going to get folded over the top. Wait, I did it upside down, didn't I? Wait. Okay, reverse. We're going to do this. Okay, this is going to go this way, up. This is going to go up. Okay, so then you get something that looks like that. Okay, and then this comes down. I'm going to trim this because it's overhanging. All right, so then that gets glued down. Okay, so now you have a paper clip just like that. Okay, and you can put anything on this side you want, and you can put anything on that side you want. You can go this way on your page. You can go up on the top again. So one more time, fold it so that this will cover. I could have come up a little more with that. Okay, so the little side's covered, right? And then you bring this up and over. This is the piece you would glue. If you want this little guy to stick out, you're going to cut a hole there so it would stick out, and you could put a charm on it. Let's just do that. Let's go up about that far. Maybe not that far. Let's go up about that far. Okay, then we're just gonna glue it, right? It's all glued now, but you got this little guy sticking up. So you could do your little bulb pin charm thingy that I lost. Is that my bulb pin charm thingy? Where's my bulb pin charm thingy? Oh, we'll just make another one. Okay, here's something. We're just going to do this. I'm going to keep going past that. It's kind of like threading a key ring, guys. So, I mean, you could do something like that. I wouldn't, just because of how it hangs, but you get the idea. All right, so then you could do a bulb pin. If I can find a bulb pin, here we go. Here's a bulb pin. Hey, let's just do this. It's already on a charm. Plug that pupper on, clip it, and you now have bulb pin with a charm. Like so, on your paper clip. So if you're doing it on the side, you've got this to the side. If you're doing it on the top, you got it coming down. But see how that hangs? That's what I was telling you. I don't care for that, but it'll work, especially if you're going to do it on the side. Put it at the top of the page, midway down. You don't want it too far to the bottom. Okay, I probably overwhelmed you, but that's just some ideas, and I'll work on some of that in some future tutorials, but I mean, you got an idea. And you could use your, let's see if we can get, I had string out here earlier. I would use wax thread with these, or jewelry findings. At the moment, I don't have my jewelry findings out, so we're going to use thread. I'm going to use wax thread to be specific because it's a little bit stiff. Okay. Now we're going to steal our bulb pin here. And we want a dangle on our bulb pin. And this way our beads don't fall off, right? So hopefully, and this is something I do in the summer when we're like camping. I'll take a bag of this and work on it while I'm camping, right? So then, if I'm lucky, I got the right size, yeah. So you thread this up, and hopefully we can keep that in there. Yes, we did. Well, no, we didn't. Wishful thinking. Let me cut this. Maybe if I just cut it, we can thread that through. Hopefully. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Perfect. Right? We'll spin that. Get that wax like melty there. And then we go with a pink. And you could really do this any way you wanted. Go with a pink. And a white. To whatever desired length you have. Okay, so maybe that's all we want. Then you would put something small on the end of it. Maybe something that size, or just do what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually put this little charm on there. And then tie it off. Could have gotten it closer, but now you get the idea. So now you have your little charm, your little beaded charm. This could go on here, like they have the little one. Come on, close up. See, now you have something that looks like that. That's really quick and on the spot, but you could get really into it. And if you have the little metal jewelry findings, that would even be better. But just something like that, just something little basic, little extras. Doesn't have to be special. Or maybe you want it on your bulb pen, but it's not gonna fit the bulb pen. You could actually maybe string it on there somehow. Anyhow, cute ideas. The only thing stopping you is your besides your imagination, is you. The imagination is there. You guys could do it. I said that all wrong, but what I meant was the only thing stopping you is you. And we could do things like this with metallic thread, all kinds of stuff. I got out some rickrack that I just got from Amazon. I was going to use it, but then I was like, nah, I want to get into some technical terms just to show you it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be really easy. Right, guys, I appreciate you coming along for this video, and I will see you in the... Hey guys, I sure appreciate you coming along and watching the video. Hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Tell me more about what you'd like to see in upcoming videos. Again, thank you to all my subscribers, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.